chosen one. Pause for a moment and listen with your spirit, not your ears. You did not arrive here by accident. You were drawn here by divine appointment, by perfect spiritual timing, by a moment that heaven has already marked. There are no coincidences in the realm of God, and this encounter is not random. Something sacred has aligned, and you are standing at the threshold of a shift that has been waiting for you. Chosen one, the hour you are in is not ordinary time. This is Kairos time. This is the appointed season when what was delayed begins to move, when what was hidden begins to surface, when what was promised begins to unfold. Scripture reminds us in Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 1 that there is a time for everything and a season for every purpose under heaven, and right now your season is opening. Anointed one, you are closer than you realize. What God has spoken will not fail, for, as it is written in Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 3, the vision awaits its appointed time, but it will surely come and it will not delay. Even if it feels sudden, even if it feels unexpected, heaven knows the exact moment to act. Chosen one, prepare your heart. Something divine is about to happen, not someday, not in theory, but now. This is the moment where transformation begins, where God moves swiftly and where your life responds to His timing. Chosen one. When heaven intervenes, nothing stays the same. This is not a poetic idea or a comforting phrase. This is a spiritual law. When God places His hand on your life, every layer begins to respond, starting from the top and moving inward. Your crown is becoming a living testimony, a visible sign that something supernatural has entered your story. What others may see as ordinary heaven has marked as sacred, and what the world overlooked God is now sanctifying. Chosen one. Your hair may appear physical, but in the realm of the Spirit, it carries symbolism. It is a prophetic marker, a point of contact, a place where alignment begins. Some of the deepest transformations never announce themselves loudly. They begin quietly, internally, almost invisibly. Before things shift in your circumstances, they shift in your thoughts. Before breakthroughs appear in your finances, your calling, or your influence, heaven touches the place where identity and direction meet. That place is your crown, and make no mistake, you are being touched right now. I want to speak from lived experience here, not theory. There was a season in my own life when everything felt misaligned. Doors opened but didn't feel right. Conversations felt heavy, even when they sounded positive. I looked in the mirror and felt disconnected from the person I knew God was shaping me into. I couldn't explain it, but something was off internally. Then, one quiet moment during prayer, I felt a gentle warmth rest on the top of my head. It wasn't dramatic, it was calm, steady, undeniable, and soon after clarity returned. My decisions sharpened, my emotions settled, my energy stabilized. It was as if God had untangled something at the root of my alignment, and the rest of my life followed. Chosen one, that is what is happening to you now. Heaven is restoring you from the crown downward. When your crown is touched, your alignment returns. Your vision clears. Your thoughts begin to purify. The mental noise that once overwhelmed you starts to fade. You begin hearing God more clearly, sensing His direction with less effort, recognizing divine nudges without confusion. Your crown is not cosmetic, it is spiritual, and because of that, it has been a target. Stress, exhaustion, emotional strain, shame, comparison, and spiritual warfare did not come randomly. These were strategic attempts to disrupt your alignment and dull your authority. But hear this clearly, chosen one. Heaven is undoing every attack strand by strand, root by root. What the enemy tried to weaken God is now fortifying. What absorbed sorrow is now reflecting glory. Some of you have already felt the shift. Your mind feels calmer. Your sleep feels deeper. Your thoughts feel lighter. Others may not feel it yet, but your spirit knows. There is an awakening happening beneath the surface. Something is breathing again. This is not imagination. This is impartation. Heaven is restoring what stress tried to steal and what sorrow tried to break. This renewal is not shallow. It is not about appearance. It is about identity. Your crown represents authority, covering and calling. Shame is lifting. Heaviness is dissolving. Old lies are falling away. You are not just growing hair. You are growing wholeness. You are growing confidence rooted in truth, not performance. And your crown is beginning to shine, not for vanity, but for testimony. Chosen one. This is also a signal of divine timing. Scripture tells us there is a moment when God says, now. Not soon, not eventually, now. This is one of those moments. You are stepping into a window where heaven accelerates what was delayed. A supernatural transfer is being prepared not just financially, but spiritually. Promotion follows alignment. Increase follows clarity. Heaven does not pour new wine into an unprepared vessel, and that is why God is starting at the crown. As this work continues, understand this. What is happening is not only healing, it is resurrection. Something that felt dormant is coming alive again. Your discernment is sharpening. Your peace is becoming steady. Your confidence is no longer borrowed from circumstances. It's anchored in knowing who you are and whose you are. I've learned this through my own journey. God often restores the top before He expands the territory. He strengthens the mind before He opens the door. He aligns the crown before He releases the assignment. And when alignment returns, provision follows naturally. Opportunities recognize you. Favor finds you without effort. This is not striving. This is positioning. Chosen one. Your crown is being reappointed, set apart, prepared for elevation. This is the beginning, not the end. Heaven has started something that will not stop halfway, and as you move forward from this moment, know this with certainty. God is not finished with you. He is just beginning to reveal what He prepared you for all along. Chosen one. There is a reason heaven continues to work at the level of your crown before anything else visibly changes. God always addresses alignment before assignment and identity before increase. When your crown begins to shift, it is a signal that heaven is preparing you for something weighty, something that cannot rest on confusion, insecurity, or spiritual fatigue. This is why what you are experiencing feels both gentle and intense at the same time. Heaven is recalibrating you for elevation. I want to speak plainly here, not mystically. When God begins preparing someone for a supernatural transfer, whether financial, spiritual, or positional, He first strengthens their inner authority. Money without identity creates fear. Promotion without clarity creates pressure. Influence without alignment creates collapse. That is why heaven is touching your crown now. God is ensuring that when the doors open, you will not shrink, panic, or self-sabotage. Chosen. 1. You are not late. You're not behind. You're not disqualified. You're precisely where divine timing needs you to be. The waiting you endured was not punishment. It was preparation. I know that season well. I remember praying for movement while God insisted on stillness. I wanted answers, but heaven kept working internally. At the time, it felt frustrating. Looking back, it was mercy. God was stabilizing me so I could carry what was coming. That is what is happening for you now. Your crown is being stabilized. Your thoughts are being trained to rest instead of race. Your emotions are learning how to respond instead of react. This is not random emotional maturity. This is supernatural conditioning. Heaven is teaching you how to remain grounded while blessing begins to accelerate. Chosen one, do not underestimate how close you are to visible change. Often the greatest shifts happen right after the internal resistance breaks. That resistance was not doubt. It was fear trying to protect you from disappointment. But fear has lost its grip now. You may not have noticed it fully, but your spirit has begun to trust again. You are open again. You are expecting again. That is not weakness. That is readiness. There is also a financial dimension tied to this restoration, and I want to be careful and honest with how I say this. God is not blessing you so you can escape responsibility. He is resourcing you so you can fulfill assignment. Provision is coming because purpose is calling. Increase is approaching because stewardship has matured. This is not about sudden luck. This is about divine alignment, meeting divine timing. When God restores the crown, He restores decision-making. You will notice that choices become clearer, opportunities feel cleaner. You will sense which doors carry peace and which carry pressure. This discernment will protect you from counterfeit blessings that look good but drain your spirit. I learned this the hard way. I once accepted an opportunity simply because it looked like an answer. It cost me peace. God later showed me that not every open door is heaven sent. Since then, discernment has been my greatest asset. Chosen one, that asset is being activated in you now. Your crown is becoming sensitive to truth. You will feel alignment in your body when something is right. You will feel resistance when something is off. This is not anxiety. This is spiritual intelligence awakening. Scripture speaks of a time when God moves suddenly, when He accelerates what seemed delayed. That season does not arrive with chaos. It arrives with clarity. And clarity is settling over you now. You are beginning to see yourself differently. Not inflated, not diminished, just accurately. That accuracy is powerful. As this alignment deepens, expect movement. Expect communication, expect unexpected confirmation, expect resources to align in ways that feel intentional, not forced. Heaven is not scrambling. Everything is already scheduled. Your role now is not striving. It is staying present, grounded, and surrendered. Chosen one, you are being positioned for a moment that requires confidence without arrogance, faith without fear, and authority without explanation. That is why heaven is restoring your crown. What is coming will make sense when it arrives. Until then, trust the process. Trust the timing. Trust the God who never starts what He does not finish. Chosen one. As this alignment continues, there is something crucial you must understand, so you do not misinterpret what you are feeling. When heaven prepares to release a blessing that alters your trajectory, it often feels like pressure before it feels like peace. That pressure is not opposition, it is expansion. Your inner capacity is being stretched to receive what your old mindset could not hold. This is why you may feel moments of restlessness paired with moments of deep calm. God is widening you. I remember a season when everything in my life looked quiet on the outside, yet inside I felt like something was building. I could not name it, but I could sense it. I kept asking God why nothing was moving, and He showed me that things were moving, just not where I was looking. He was restructuring me internally so I would not break when momentum arrived. That lesson changed how I interpret silence forever. Chosen one. Silence does not mean absence. Silence is often where the most precise work happens. Heaven does not announce every step it takes. Sometimes it works quietly, so fear does not interfere. Right now, your crown is being trained to carry responsibility without anxiety. That is why distractions are losing their appeal. That is why drama feels heavier than it used to. That is why you crave peace more than applause. These are not personality changes. These are signs of preparation. There is also a separation taking place, and this part can feel uncomfortable. Certain connections may feel misaligned. Certain conversations may feel draining. Certain environments may suddenly feel loud or chaotic. This is not judgment. This is discernment activating. When God elevates a chosen one, he refines their atmosphere. What once felt familiar may no longer feel safe. What once felt exciting may now feel empty. This is how alignment protects you. Chosen one, do not chase what no longer resonates. You are not losing people. You are gaining clarity, and clarity always precedes provision. I have watched doors close in my life that I begged God to keep open, only to realize later they would have limited what he was about to do. At the time, it felt like rejection. In hindsight, it was rescue. Your crown is also learning restraint. You will feel less need to explain yourself, less need to defend your decisions, less need to prove your worth. That quiet confidence is not apathy. It is authority settling in. When God prepares someone for influence, he teaches them how to remain centered, regardless of reaction. This will serve you well in the season ahead. Now hear this clearly, chosen one. What is coming is not fragile. You do not need to protect it by force. God protects what he authors. Your responsibility is obedience, not control. Stay responsive, not reactive. Stay faithful in small instructions. Timing is everything, and heaven is exact. Scripture reminds us that there is a season for everything under heaven, and you are entering a season of manifestation after preparation. You may notice practical changes as well. Your sleep may deepen, your focus may sharpen, your intuition may become clearer. These are signs that your nervous system and spirit are aligning. God cares about your whole being, not just your breakthrough. He is ensuring that when acceleration happens, you remain whole. Chosen one, expect confirmation soon. It may come through a conversation, a sudden opportunity, an unexpected message, or an inner knowing that feels undeniable. Do not rush it. Let it meet you. When something is from God, it carries peace, even when it stretches you. That peace will be your confirmation. I want you to release the fear of disappointment. Fear has no authority in this season. You are not hoping blindly. You are responding to divine timing. Heaven would not prepare you this deeply if nothing was coming. Preparation itself is proof. As this segment closes, I want you to anchor yourself in trust. Not passive waiting, but active surrender. Stay aligned. Stay aware. Stay humble. What God is unfolding will not only bless you, it will bless others through you. That is why the preparation has been so precise. Chosen one, you are closer than you think. Heaven is steady. Timing is exact. And what is about to unfold will make the waiting make sense. Chosen one. There is another layer unfolding now, and it requires your awareness. When God begins preparing someone for supernatural increase, he also begins teaching them how to receive without fear. Many people pray for overflow, but remain tense inside because their past trained them to expect loss. Right now, heaven is healing your relationship with receiving. That is why your crown is being touched first. The mind must rest before the hands can hold more. I remember a time when opportunity finally arrived for me after a long season of struggle, and instead of excitement, I felt nervous. I realized later that God was not testing my ability to work harder, but my ability to trust deeper. I had learned survival well, but receiving felt unfamiliar. God gently showed me that blessing does not require tension, it requires alignment. Chosen one. This is where you are now. Your spirit is learning how to stay calm while doors open. Your nervous system is learning that expansion does not equal danger. That is why heaven is settling you, grounding you, and restoring peace at the top of your being. The crown is the place of signal. When it is calm, the whole body follows. You may notice that urgency is leaving you. That frantic feeling of needing to fix everything is dissolving. This does not mean you care less. It means you trust more. God is shifting you from striving into stewardship. What is coming will not respond to panic. It will respond to presence. There is also a financial dimension attached to this moment, and it is important you hear this without fear or fantasy. Divine provision does not always arrive as sudden money. Sometimes it arrives as clarity, sometimes as access, sometimes as favor with the right people, sometimes as removal from places that were draining you quietly. Money follows alignment, not desperation. I have seen this pattern again and again. The moment my inner world stabilized, opportunities found me without force. Conversations changed. Timing aligned, ideas became profitable. This is the quiet miracle of alignment. When the crown is restored, decisions become cleaner, and clean decisions attract increase. Chosen one. You're being trained to recognize what is truly from God and what is merely attractive. Not everything shiny is assigned to you. Your discernment is sharpening because your influence is about to expand. Heaven does not increase someone who cannot say no. Boundaries are not punishment, they are protection. You may feel less available lately, even to people you care about. This is not coldness, this is conservation. God is teaching you how to protect your energy so you can invest it where it multiplies. Even Jesus withdrew to quiet places. That rhythm is holy. There is also a subtle identity shift happening. You are beginning to see yourself differently. Not better than others, but clearer about your role. You are realizing that you were never meant to blend in. This realization may feel lonely at times, but it is temporary. God always isolates before he integrates at a higher level. Chosen one, resist the urge to rush the reveal. What is being built in you needs depth, not speed. The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, reminds us there is a time for everything, and wisdom knows when to move and when to remain still. You are in a season of strengthening roots, not chasing fruit. Pay attention to your intuition now. Small nudges matter, delayed responses matter. Sudden disinterest matters. These are not random moods. These are divine cues. Honor them. They are guiding you towards sustainability, not burnout. As this work continues, you may notice your prayers changing. They will become simpler, quieter, more surrendered. This is maturity, not distance. God is less interested in convincing you now and more interested in partnering with you. You are not begging anymore. You are aligning. Chosen one. What is ahead requires steadiness. Influence requires clarity. Provision requires peace. Authority requires humility. Heaven is preparing you for all three at once. That is why this process feels thorough. Let this segment settle in you. There is no rush. You are not behind. You are being calibrated. And when the next door opens, you will walk through it without fear, without force, and without losing yourself. Chosen one, there is a deeper refinement taking place right now, and it is essential that you understand it correctly so you do not resist what is actually protecting you. When God prepares to elevate someone, He does not only add new blessings, new doors, or new influence. He also removes weight. He removes attachments. He removes patterns that once felt safe but would become liabilities in the next season. This is not loss. This is precision. Heaven is lightening your load so you can move with clarity, strength, and authority. I remember a season in my own life when God began stripping away routines and comforts I had relied on for years. At first, it felt unsettling. Things I used to enjoy no longer gave me peace. Habits that once helped me cope suddenly felt empty. I thought something was wrong with me, but later I understood that nothing was wrong at all. God was repositioning me. What once sustained me could no longer support the level He was calling me into. The discomfort was not punishment, it was preparation. Chosen one, you may be feeling something similar now. You are outgrowing patterns that once felt normal. Even goals you once prayed for may no longer excite you in the same way. This is not confusion. This is discernment maturing. God is refining your appetite so you do not settle for substitutes when the real thing arrives. When heaven prepares to release something significant, it trains your spirit to recognize what truly aligns and what merely distracts. There is also a strengthening of integrity happening within you. You are becoming more sensitive to misalignment, even in subtle forms. Small compromises feel heavier now. Rushed decisions feel uncomfortable. Half-truth does not sit well in your spirit. This is not anxiety. This is conscience being sharpened. God is preparing you to carry influence without losing yourself. Influence without integrity always collapses, and heaven will not allow you to be elevated without being fortified first. Chosen. One character is always tested before capacity expands. God builds the inside, so the outside does not break you. That is why you may notice certain areas of your life slowing down while others accelerate. Where you are ready, movement increases. Where grounding is still needed, things pause. This balance is intentional. Heaven knows exactly what you can handle at each stage. You may also notice that your words are beginning to carry more weight. When you speak, people listen differently. Even simple conversations may have unexpected impact. This is not because you are trying harder. It is because alignment amplifies presence. When your crown is settled, authority flows naturally. You are not louder, you are clearer. I experienced this shift personally. There was a time when I felt invisible no matter how much effort I gave. I tried to prove my value, to explain myself, to be seen. Then, after a season of surrender and inner alignment, something changed. I stopped striving to be recognized, and suddenly people began seeking my insight. That is how God works. When striving ends, favor begins. Chosen one, understand this clearly. Favor is not random. It responds to alignment. The more whole you become, the more doors respond to you. This includes financial doors, relational doors, and creative opportunities. But these doors open when you are ready to steward them, not just receive them. God is not interested in overwhelming you. He is interested in sustaining you. There is also a humility being anchored within you now. Not insecurity, but humility. You are learning that you do not need to announce your growth. Fruit speaks for itself. This humility will protect you when recognition comes. It will keep you grounded when opportunity expands. Pride rushes ahead. Wisdom waits and watches. You may feel drawn to simplicity in this season, cleaner spaces, quieter routines, clearer boundaries. This is not withdrawal, this is focus. God often simplifies before he multiplies. Less noise allows greater discernment. Less clutter allows greater clarity. What you are creating space for will soon reveal itself. Chosen one, do not compare your timeline to anyone else's. Their process is not yours. Heaven is exact with you. Scripture reminds us that when the appointed time comes, God makes it happen swiftly. That swiftness requires readiness. You are being readied now in ways you may not fully see yet. There may be moments when this season feels quiet, even lonely. Do not mistake quiet for stagnation. Roots grow in silence. Strength forms where no one is applauding. What God is building in you now will support what he releases later. As this segment closes, let peace be your confirmation. Not excitement alone, but peace. Peace is the signal of alignment. If peace is present, heaven is present. Trust the pruning, trust the refinement, trust the quiet work being done beneath the surface. You are not being delayed, you are being prepared with intention, and what God is preparing you for will require integrity, clarity, humility, and calm authority. You are developing all of it now, chosen one. As this preparation continues, there is a shift happening that you may feel more than you can explain. God is not only refining who you are, he is recalibrating how you move through the world. This is the stage where many people grow impatient, because the internal change feels complete, yet the external confirmation has not fully appeared. But hear this clearly. Internal alignment always precedes visible acceleration. Heaven moves from the inside out. I remember a moment in my own journey when I felt ready for the next step, yet nothing around me seemed to change. I had done the work. I had surrendered the habits, released the attachments, and embraced the quiet. Still, the door had not opened. What I did not realize then was that God was not waiting on circumstances. He was waiting on timing. And timing is not passive. Timing is precise. Chosen one, you are learning how to wait without weakening. That is a skill very few develop. Most people either rush ahead or shut down, but you are being trained to remain present, faithful, and expectant without forcing outcomes. This posture is powerful. It keeps you open without being anxious, hopeful without being desperate, confident without being controlling. There is also a deep trust being established between you and God in this season. Trust not based on emotion, but on evidence. When you look back, you can already see how he has guided you, protected you, and redirected you. This history matters. It is the foundation that allows you to move forward without fear. Faith grows strongest when memory is honored. Chosen one. Something important is happening with your sense of identity. You are no longer defining yourself by what you lack or what you are waiting for. You are beginning to live from who you already are. This is a subtle but powerful shift. When identity is settled, decisions become simpler. You stop asking who you need to be and start acting from who you are. This is why certain temptations no longer have the same pull, not because they disappeared, but because they no longer fit you. You are not resisting them with effort. You are outgrowing them with clarity. That is maturity. That is authority forming. There is also a financial alignment taking place that may not yet look dramatic, but it is strategic. God often teaches stewardship before release. You may find yourself more aware of how you manage time, energy, and resources. This is not restriction, this is training. When increase arrives, it will respond to systems, not chaos. I remember learning this lesson the hard way. I once prayed intensely for financial breakthrough, but when opportunities appeared, I was not structured enough to sustain them. God was kind, but he was also wise. He slowed me down so I would not sabotage what I had asked for. Looking back, I am grateful for every delay that taught me discipline. Chosen. One discipline is not punishment. It is preparation for freedom. The more aligned you become, the more freedom you can carry without losing balance. This applies to money, influence, relationships, and responsibility. You may also notice that your intuition is becoming sharper. Decisions that once took weeks now feel clear in moments. This is not impulsiveness. This is discernment maturing. When your spirit is aligned, clarity flows naturally. You are not guessing, you are sensing. There is a scripture that says God makes all things beautiful in their time. That beauty includes timing itself. A blessing delivered too early becomes a burden. A calling revealed too soon becomes pressure. Heaven loves you enough to wait until you are ready. Chosen one. You are closer than you think. The quiet you are in is not empty. It is charged. Like the moment before a seed breaks open underground, something is forming that cannot yet be seen, but cannot be stopped either. Stay faithful in your routines. Stay kind to yourself. Stay obedient in small nudges. Small obedience positions you for large shifts. Heaven watches how you steward what is unseen before it releases what will be seen. As this segment comes to a close, anchor yourself in confidence. Not loud confidence, but settled confidence. The kind that does not need reassurance. The kind that knows God has not forgotten, delayed, or changed his mind. You are not waiting for life to begin. Life is already responding to who you are becoming. The alignment is real. The preparation is working. And when the moment arrives, it will feel natural, not chaotic. Chosen one, remain steady. Timing is near. Heaven is exact. And what is unfolding will meet you at the right moment, not a moment late. Chosen one. You are standing in a sacred transition that cannot be rushed, explained, or forced. This is the moment where preparation quietly turns into positioning, where everything God has been shaping inside you begins to settle into certainty. You may feel suspended between who you were and who you are becoming, and that space can feel unfamiliar, even uncomfortable. But this space is holy. It is where identity stabilizes before destiny accelerates. I remember standing in a similar place in my own journey when nothing dramatic seemed to be happening on the outside, yet something inside me felt deeply anchored. I was no longer chasing signs or asking God for constant reassurance. I had stopped replaying old fears. There was a calm that did not come from answers, but from trust. I did not yet know what was coming next, but I knew I was ready to meet it. That inner readiness became the turning point. Chosen one. Readiness does not always feel like excitement. Often it feels like quiet confidence. It feels like restraint instead of urgency. It feels like wisdom choosing stillness over reaction. Heaven knows exactly when someone is prepared not only to receive a blessing, but to sustain it without losing themselves. That is the work unfolding within you right now. You may notice that challenges no longer shake you the way they once did. Situations that would have triggered anxiety now feel manageable. Conversations that once drained you no longer have the same power. This is not because life has suddenly become easier. It is because you have become steadier. Your crown is aligned. Your thoughts are grounded. Your spirit is anchored. Stability has replaced survival. Chosen one, Do not be surprised if people begin responding to you differently. Some may show sudden respect they never offered before. Others may pull away without explanation. This is not personal, it is spiritual. Your internal alignment has shifted your external frequency. When God elevates someone internally, the environment responds. Some connections rise with you, others fall away. Both outcomes serve a purpose. I learned this through experience. There were people who walked closely with me in seasons of struggle, but could not walk with me into seasons of clarity. At first, that felt painful. Later, I understood it was protection. God was clarifying who could witness the next chapter without interfering with it. Not everyone deserves access to your becoming. Chosen. 1. This is not arrogance, it is discernment. Discernment protects what God is birthing in you. It allows you to choose depth over familiarity and alignment over comfort. You are not becoming distant, you are becoming precise. There is also a shift happening in your desires. You are less interested in proving yourself and more interested in building something meaningful. Recognition matters less than integrity. Applause matters less than purpose. This is a sign of maturity. God entrusts influence to those who value impact over attention. You may notice that disappointment no longer lingers the way it used to. When things do not work out, you recover faster. You still feel, but you do not spiral. This is emotional authority forming. It allows you to remain open without being fragile, hopeful, without being desperate, confident, without being controlling. I remember when unanswered prayers once felt like rejection. Over time, they became evidence of protection. That perspective only came after trust was built. And trust is what God is anchoring in you now. Not a loud trust, not a dramatic faith, but a quiet knowing that does not panic when timelines shift. Chosen one. There is also a subtle courage rising inside you. Not loud bravery, but steady resolve. You are becoming more willing to follow what feels aligned even when it is unfamiliar. You are choosing truth over approval. This courage will guide you when the next door opens, because the next door will require discernment, not impulse. You are also learning how to move decisively without rushing. When clarity comes, you act. When peace leaves you, pause. This rhythm is holy. It will protect you from unnecessary detours and emotional exhaustion. Heaven is training you to trust your inner alignment. Patience has played a larger role in your journey than you may realize. Patience sharpens perception. It teaches you to notice details others miss. In the season ahead, discernment will matter more than speed. You will be entrusted with opportunities that require wisdom, not reaction. That is why haste has been removed from you. You may feel gratitude rising in places where resentment once lived. Gratitude not only for blessings, but for lessons. Even painful seasons begin to make sense when gratitude settles in. Gratitude is a sign of integration. It means the past no longer controls you. It informs you, but it does not define you. Chosen one. Nothing you endured was wasted. Every delay refined you. Every disappointment clarified you. Every closed door redirected you. You are not standing on uncertain ground. You are standing on a foundation that has been tested and strengthened. There may still be moments when you question how close the breakthrough truly is. In those moments, remember this. God does not prepare someone this thoroughly for something small. Precision always precedes significance. What is coming requires stability, humility, and wisdom. You now carry all three. As this segment comes to rest, let this truth settle deeply in your spirit. You are not paused. You are positioned. You are not overlooked. You are being trusted. Heaven has been exact with you because your assignment carries weight. Stay attentive, stay grounded, stay surrendered. The movement you have been sensing is real, and it is approaching steadily. You will recognize it not by chaos, but by peace, not by noise, but by clarity. Chosen one, remain ready. Alignment is complete, identity is anchored, and what unfolds next will meet you without force, without fear, and without confusion. You are prepared to walk forward with calm authority. Chosen one. This final movement is not about anticipation anymore. It is about embodiment. What God has completed inside you is now meant to be lived, not analyzed. This is the moment where faith stops rehearsing and begins walking. You are not stepping into something fragile or experimental. You are stepping into something established. Heaven has already settled the matter. What remains now is your agreement through action. There is a quiet authority resting on you that did not exist before. It does not announce itself. It does not demand attention. It simply is. This authority shows up in how you carry yourself, how you respond under pressure, and how you move without urgency. You are no longer reacting to life. You are responding from alignment. That difference will change everything. I remember when I entered this phase myself, nothing externally screamed breakthrough at first. In fact, things felt almost ordinary. But internally I noticed I was no longer second-guessing every decision. I trusted my discernment. I trusted the pauses. I trusted the nudges. And slowly, life began rearranging itself around that trust. Opportunities aligned without force. Conversations opened without effort. Resistance faded where I expected it most. That is what happens when alignment becomes embodied. Chosen one. You may notice that you are no longer drawn to explain yourself. Silence now feels powerful instead of uncomfortable. You understand that clarity does not require constant expression. This is maturity. This is confidence rooted in knowing, not proving. When you speak now, it will be intentional. When you move now, it will be clean. There is also a deep release happening around fear of the future. You are no longer scanning for threats the way you once did. Your nervous system has learned safety in God. That safety allows creativity to rise. It allows vision to expand. It allows you to plan without anxiety and dream without pressure. Fear can no longer lead you where trust has taken root. Chosen one, the next season will ask you to show up fully, not perfectly. Perfection was never required. Presence is. Your willingness to be honest, grounded and obedient in real time is what will sustain what God is releasing. You will not need to rush to catch up. What belongs to you will meet you as you move. There will be moments when the old version of you tries to resurface, especially in unfamiliar territory. Do not fight it harshly. Simply do not follow it. You have outgrown that voice. It served you when survival was necessary, but now alignment is leading. Each time you choose calm, over control, trust, over tension, you reinforce the new foundation. You may also notice a shift in how you relate to time. Urgency has softened. Patience feels natural. You understand that timing is not something you chase, it is something you cooperate with. This cooperation will bring ease into areas that once felt blocked. Doors will open not because you pushed harder, but because you arrived ready, chosen. One, finances, opportunities and connections will begin responding to your internal order. Disorder attracts struggle. Order attracts flow. What God has done in you is creating a structure that can hold increase without collapse. When provision comes, it will not overwhelm you. It will fit you. I want you to pay attention to how peace accompanies your decisions now. Peace is not the absence of challenge, it is the presence of alignment. Let peace guide you. When peace stays, proceed. When peace lifts, pause. This simple discipline will protect you from unnecessary detours. You are also entering a season where your presence will minister without effort. People will feel safe around you. They will sense clarity, even if they cannot name it. This is not something you need to manage. Just remain authentic. Authenticity is the highest form of authority. Chosen one, do not underestimate the power of consistency in this phase. Small, faithful actions will compound quickly. What feels ordinary now will produce extraordinary results later. Heaven watches how you steward the quiet before it amplifies the visible. There may still be moments of uncertainty, but they will not destabilize you. You have learned how to hold questions without losing faith. That skill is rare. It allows God to trust you with unfolding answers instead of instant ones. As you move forward, release any lingering need for validation. You are already affirmed. You are already chosen. You are already aligned. Validation from others may come, but it is no longer required to move. Chosen one. This is not the end of the journey. It is the beginning of a new way of walking, a way marked by steadiness, clarity, and quiet strength. You are not becoming someone else. You are living as who you truly are. Carry this awareness with humility and confidence. Walk gently but firmly. Choose truth over comfort. Choose alignment over urgency. Everything you need will meet you in motion. You are ready. Heaven is in agreement, and what unfolds from here will confirm what your spirit already knows. Chosen one. As this sacred word comes to its final breath, let your spirit receive and anchor this eternal truth deep within you. Are not leaving this moment as you entered it. Heaven has touched your crown with deliberate intention, with divine purpose, with supernatural assignment. And what began over your head in this very hour will continue to manifest in your life with holy precision, unstoppable momentum, and the unmistakable signature of God's hand. You are standing in your Kairos moment, that sacred intersection where heaven's perfect timing collides with earth's reality, where the eternal breaks into the temporal, where what has been promised now becomes what is possessed. This is not coincidence. This is not chance. This is divine orchestration at its highest level. The anointing that has been released upon your crown is not symbolic language or poetic expression. It is active, it is moving, it is breathing, it is working in realms seen and unseen. Anointed. One, understand this. What rests upon your head right now is covenant. It is not temporary covering, it is permanent commissioning. God did not anoint your crown simply to comfort you in your season of waiting. He anointed your crown to commission you into your season of walking in full authority. You are being sent forth now, not as someone hoping for breakthrough, but as someone carrying breakthrough. Not as someone seeking favor, but as someone wearing favor. Not as someone asking for doors to open, but as someone whose very presence causes doors to unlock. The atmosphere around you is shifting because the atmosphere within you has already transformed. You are no longer resonating with fear, you are vibrating at the frequency of faith. You are no longer fueled by survival mode, you are powered by destiny mode. You are no longer defined by what was lost, you are defined by the light that now radiates from within you. And everywhere you go from this moment forward, your crown will speak for you, even in your silence. It will testify of God's goodness, even before you open your mouth. It will announce your arrival into rooms before you physically enter them. Chosen one, lift your head now and walk forward with holy confidence. Walk gently, but walk with authority. Walk humbly, but walk with unshakable certainty. Walk softly, but walk with spiritual fire burning in your bones. You are not wandering, you are being led. You are not lost, you are being guided with divine precision. Every step